What's going on, guys? JSGC 171 here, and we're here for another Premier League transfer update. We're slowly but surely getting through the transfer window now. We're into July, so hopefully things will start hotting up. And we've already got quite a few transfers to get through, so we'll just get on through that. Now, Chris Willock of Arsenal has signed for Benfica in Portugal, one of the most successful clubs in Portugal, for an undisclosed fee, 5-year contract. Fantastic move, local talent for Arsenal. Really exciting for him. They've already sold Asano that we covered to Stuttgart, so a few of their youngsters now are starting to go abroad. I think that's very interesting. I'd wish more youngsters in this country would do that, because they end up getting a more cultural experience. They end up learning new trades. They end up learning new philosophies, new skills, and obviously football in Portugal is a lot different to the Premier League. Football in the Bundesliga is a lot different to the Premier League. In France, in Spain, in Italy, obviously all different. So I wish more youngsters would get out there and experience it. Obviously not just a loan move, but an actual permanent move, 5-year contract. So we'll keep an eye on him. I'm sure we'll hear more in the future. Now, Bournemouth have been very busy this week. They signed Jermaine Defoe on a free contract for free. Now, obviously, June 30th's come and gone. So the contract's up now for him with Sunderland. He's gone back to Bournemouth, and they've got some strike force now. Very quick. Defoe, King, Callum Wilson up front. Very exciting. And talking of quick and Bournemouth, they've also signed Nathan Ake, a left back. They had him last season on loan, if you remember, from Chelsea. Chelsea recalled him. Didn't really get much game time for them. Bit of a pointless recall, if I'm honest with you. £20 million of signing for Bournemouth, little small club, signing £20 million players. Football's gone crazy. But Chelsea put a buyback clause on him. I think I've heard near £40 million. So if he ends up being a big success, then might get him back for £40 million. How insane! Crazy. Now, also going to be moving on. Burnley haven't done much business. They've announced a retain list. Brighton still waiting on theirs. So there's not much to discuss there. Chelsea have got rid of a couple of players, so we'll get through them. Nathan Ake we've covered, has gone for £20 million. Frankati Darbo has gone to Vitesse Arnhem, obviously association with Chelsea, so they loaned him out there. And also Bertrand Traore has left for Lyon for £8.8 million. So Chelsea really getting through their massive squad that they've got, even delving down into the under-21s and the under-19s and everything. It's such a massive squad. So many players out on loan last season. They're now starting to sell them permanently and loaning them out again. Chelsea have also brought a player in. You'll have seen it in my Man City transfer update video right at the end. Willy Caballero, goalkeeper for Man City last season, backup goalkeeper, has replaced Begovic, who's gone to Bournemouth for undisclosed fee. So, great backup goalkeeper, great penalty terms, great situation for saving penalties. Awesome goalkeeper, great backup, great bit of business for Chelsea. I can't help but feel that really a backup goalkeeper could just go to one of Chelsea's younger goalkeepers. Obviously, I think goalkeepers at the backup should just be homegrown, because you're paying a lot of wage for a goalkeeper that's going to be sitting on the bench for probably 70-80% of the season. There's no reason why the other 20-30% couldn't be a local young lad in net. Saves a lot on wage, and also gives young players a good opportunity that even if they're not good enough, you can sell them on, and obviously you'll end up getting a little bit of a fee. It also helps the homegrown status, if you get where I am coming from. Now, Crystal Palace haven't done any business just yet. They have appointed a new manager. Frank de Boer is the new manager at Crystal Palace. So they've sorted their situation out. All managers are go who, if you get what I mean. He's a good manager. I think it's interesting to see what he ends up, how successful he can make Crystal Palace. I mean, I'm not sure what their potential is for the season. Obviously, they're going to want to finish 17th, and they'd be happy with that. Whether then they can make a success of the season, end up climbing into the top half and having a good season like some of the other clubs like Southampton and Bournemouth tend to do, remains to be seen. We'll see. It's an interesting one. Southampton's also sorted out theirs. They've also appointed Pellegrino as their new manager, so that's all sorted out. Now, Crystal Palace have announced their retain list, released quite a few players that have already gone through. Jonathan Benteke, Fraser Campbell, Joe Ledley, Olive, and others. Now, Everton have been busy again. Seem to be busy every week. Signed Henry Onyekuru, I'll call him, from UPenn for an undisclosed fee. I don't know anything about him, unfortunately, but we are seeing a big trend for Everton that they're spending a lot of money. Financial fair play might come into it, so I'm wondering if they're going to be selling any players. Lukaku, Ross Barkley, Deulofeu has left. Obviously, he's gone to Barcelona, which for some strange reason I don't seem to have official confirmation of. I'll have a look though for you whilst I go through other transfers. So we've also got Huddersfield, who have been busy. We've been through De Poitre that signed for Porto last week. They've also gone and signed Lossell from Mainz on loan. They've also officially confirmed what I was saying 2 weeks ago. Aaron Moy signed for them. £10 million deal, $8 million up front, $2 million in add-ons. It's a good signing for Huddersfield. They've still not announced the retain list yet. I'm wondering if it's just a bit slow for being announced, or whether they've just not updated the systems on here as of yet. Now, there's no new business this week from Leicester, which is a surprise. Been quite busy. No new updates from Liverpool. Man City sold Moy, we've already been through, and Caballero now joining Chelsea's an update there. Ibrahimovic has officially left Manchester United now. I'm not sure how Man United fans feel about that. If you're a Man United fan, leave in the comments how you feel about Ibrahimovic leaving. Are you feeling confident that you're going to bring in solid replacements? Is he going to allow you a lot more money to improve the squad? Or are you fearing the worst for strikers up front now, because the numbers are looking a bit bleak up front? I mean, the last situation you want to find yourself in is Marcus Rashford ended up getting injured. Man United's options up front really do look a bit bare then. They're left with just Martial, Rooney. Not good. Now, Newcastle have been getting linked with quite a lot of players. Been linked with Joe Hart this week. I don't know. But nothing new from Newcastle this week. Now, Southampton, Poyet Pellegrino, have made their first signing. They've signed a player from Lech Poznan called Bednarek, undisclosed fee. I know not much about him, but it's good to see now that Southampton are starting to dip into the transfer market. They're finally sorting out their managerial merry-go-round that they've had going on. So hopefully they're hoping to kick on. I've heard Jay Rodriguez to West Brom is imminent at some point, so that might come in the next week, which may mean West Brom getting in on the business and Southampton selling players and freeing up some funds to go and spend more money. We will see. Now, Stoke have been very slow, still doing not a lot of business. So are they being patient? Are they waiting for bargains? I don't know. But if they're not going to improve the squad's going to get worse, not better. So you see the first Premier League transfer update, you'll see my opinions on Stoke. Now, Swansea still very slow. Them and Stoke have been very slow in this transfer market. No new business from them. Tottenham have done no new business, but they have got Kieran Trippier on a new 5-year deal. Does that mean Kyle Walker's leaving? We will see. But I imagine Tottenham will be looking for new right-backs if Kyle Walker does leave. And I imagine if they sell any players, they'll be looking for new players to replace them. I've seen Eric Dyer being linked with move to Man United. But I imagine this is a window where they're going to try and keep hold of Lloris, Vertonghen, Alderweireld, Danny Rose, Wanyama, Dele Alli, Harry Kane, etc., etc. So it's like Tottenham's got a good squad, so interesting, really interesting to see if Pochettino does address any issues in Tottenham, or if he regards that they've got any issues or not. If they don't improve the squad, they're going to gel together and be a good team ethic and go even further. They're going to win the Premier League next season. They're playing at Wembley. They've got a bigger pitch to cope with. They've got European football again. Interesting for Tottenham. Been a bit slow too now. Team that isn't so slow, Watford. Now, Watford, since signing Tom Cleverley, have added 3 new players this week. Hallelujah, we've got something to discuss. Now, we'll start off with Daniel Bachmann. It's time from Stoke for undisclosed fee. I've never even heard of him, okay? I'm not going to lie. I don't know who he is. I don't know anything about him. I presume he's a young player because I've not heard of him. If you're a Stoke or a Watford fan, let me know. I mean, I do try and give as much of an opinion on players as I possibly can, but if I don't know who they are, I can't provide any information on you. I'll learn over the next season. It might be a success. He might be into the youth side. We might see him for one for the future. I don't know. They've also signed from Alaves for an undisclosed fee. Kiko Femenia, don't know anything about him either. And the last one, Will Hughes has signed from Derby for an undisclosed fee. He's been very injury prone for Derby. Shows a lot of potential. He's been playing for England under 21 side. A decent midfielder, good passer of the ball. If he can keep injury free, then it's a good signing for them. And they've managed to get him at quite a discounted price. I think they've got him for around £5 million. Which, if he can stay injury free, that's an absolute steal for a young English under-21 international, isn't it, really? So that's a good bit of business. They've taken a risk. We'll see if that risk pays off. Now, West Brom haven't signed anyone this week. Jay Rodriguez closing in. £15 million, I've heard. Interesting. West Ham also again. Nordveit. Isn't he that flop at West Ham, I think? Signed for Hoffenheim for £8 million. Reece Oxford, another young English player, headed out to Borussia Mönchengladbach on loan. So, yeah, that concludes the transfer factual stuff. I imagine there's going to be more that's going to get announced. So we're going to have a look at the odds. I'm also going to have a look to see if there's any trends anywhere. So we'll just start off. We'll get through this day quickly, actually. I'll try and make it just a couple of minutes long. Now, Alexis Sanchez seems he's just as likely to join Man City as he is to stay at Arsenal. That's a developing situation. Apparently this week, Sanchez is going to announce what his decision is. Is he going to leave? Is he going to leave? Is he going to stay? We will see. We'll have our answer next week. The bookies seem to think they're leaning towards Man City, but also don't want to sell to the Premier League rival. So we'll see what happens there. Ross Barkley's been linked with Tottenham. Apparently, he's just as likely to join Tottenham as he is to stay at Everton, but I don't see really why Tottenham would be in for him. I'd be surprised, but you never know. Van Dijk, this transfer is just dragging on. And on. Evans he is to join Liverpool and he's 5-4 to stay at Southampton. Now, Liverpool were going to get reported for tapping him up. They pulled out and said they're not signing him. I presume that's that. In my opinion, in my head, that's that, really. I don't think he's going to join Liverpool. In fact, I think all these transfers are a little bit unrealistic. Now, Aubameyang's been linked with Man City. Sky Sports said just a couple of weeks ago, Sky Sports said that Man City were preparing an imminent bid. An imminent bid? He's 5-1 on to join a Chinese club. Guy in the peak of his career, banging in goals in the Bundesliga, been linked with the biggest clubs in the world, in the biggest leagues. China, money, there you go. And apparently China's putting a stop to it as well, with this 100% foreign tax player. Who knows? Lukaku, Chelsea apparently, they don't think he's going to be staying at Everton, they think he's going to be joining Chelsea. Lukaku came out and said that he's already decided his club. So, is it Chelsea? Could be. Liverpool closing in on Keita. I have heard that one before from Leipzig, but apparently they need to pay a lot of money for him, like a big transfer fee and a lot of wage. So whether that happens is another matter. There's others. Lacazette is apparently closing in on Arsenal. Now, there's been a big update saying that Arsenal are prepared to pay the £50 million or around that for Lacazette. Lyon might accept it, they might not. Lyon have said actually that they don't want to sell Lacazette. Lacazette's been linked with Atletico Madrid, but they didn't get rid of Griezmann because of the transfer ban. So Lacazette, is he going to stay? Is he going to go? Is he going to go somewhere else? Well, Arsenal apparently is that club that he's getting linked with. So we'll see an update for that. Chelsea closing in on Sandro as well. They're preparing a bid. Doesn't mean they're actually going to sign him. They're just preparing for a bid. They might be told to get lost by Juventus. Morata, no new updates on that. Could be signing for Man United. He's my tip for them to replace for Ibrahimovic. They're also after Belotti as a backup if they don't get Morata, which I think could be a good signing as well. Liverpool after a left-back. They've been linked with Robertson from Hull, I think. I don't know. Been linked with Benjamin Mendy, I think, as well. Man City have as well. Chelsea have as well. Everyone's been linked with Alexandro. You know, hopefully we'll get some clarification soon. It's driving me insane, all of these transfers. It's driving me insane. And there's no updates. I mean, Ronaldo's not going to leave, is he? Let's face it. North Lewandowski, who's been linked with the Premier League. Dani Alves closing in on Man City. Juventus have got rid of him off his contract. Man City want him. Apparently his contract's worth like £5 million. Has Dani Alves paid £5 million? Or have Man City's oil barons gone and paid the £5 million? You heard it here first. Now, I don't think there's anything else. Let's go through all these. Fabinho, apparently Man United are after him. PSG winning the race, but Monaco don't want to sell. I don't know. There's lots more. Gylfi Sigurdsson is one to keep an eye on. If he ends up signing for Everton, that could have a merry-go-round with Ross Barkley to Tottenham, apparently, according to the bookmakers. I think we're going to leave it here. I mean, we've got Joe Hart after some clubs as well. Not available. Man City don't want him, so want rid of him. Bonucci, I think he'll probably stay at Juventus. Verratti being linked with Barcelona, etc., etc. But there we go. So, don't forget to like and subscribe if you wish. Keep an eye out for the Man City transfer update out next week. Or should I say this week, actually, depending on how you look at it. Keep an eye out also for the next Premier League update, which is available in a week's time. I hope you all have a nice day. And we'll see you all for the videos next week. It's been JSGC 171. Peace! Ciao for now. The transfer market is an ever-growing, ever-changing market. And as we mentioned earlier in the video, Jay Rodriguez was on the verge of joining West Brom from Southampton, which is now being officially confirmed. I think it's around £50 million. So he's now a West Brom player. West Brom have done a bit of business. Southampton have sold the player. So kudos to West Brom. I think that'll be a good signing. And hopefully we'll have more transfer dealings to deal with next week. Peace. Ciao for now.